Hello, welcome back. My name is Jim Logan, and this is part 6 in my series of YouTube videos, the TMEA All-State 2023 Clarinet ETUDES. So in part 5, we spent a lot of time talking about number 13, measures 1 through 16. For the next 10 minutes or so, we're going to focus on the next section from measure 17 down to the hold in measure 32. When you're working on these etudes, I think it's wise. I'm big on replicating my practice sessions like the performance will be. So you're never going to play this thing from beginning to end. So I don't see the point in practicing from beginning to end. I kind of play the guessing game of what the panel is going to ask for that day. And I've seen some crazy asks over the years, but it's safe to say that something like measure 1 down to 16 could happen, or even further, measure down through measure 32, beginning down to 32. Another one would be the pickups into 33 to the end. Maybe something like, I don't know, the pickups into 41 to the end if they're feeling rushed for time. So you can play that guessing game. I think it's a good test towards your preparation. If you can just start in the strangest places, if you could start like in the pickup note of measure 3 and go, or the pickup beat 3 of measure 31 and then continue. And now they're not ever going to do anything that crazy, but if you're really ready to go, you'll be able to do that. So don't always start at measure 1, first note of measure 1. Start sometimes at measure 10 or measure 9. That would be a great place to start. Maybe that would be a good place on game day, instead of starting on first measure, starting on measure 9, mezzo forte. Briefly, before I go to my promise measure 17 and on, I was pushing the lengths of my self-imposed longevity of an etude last time, the video. So I didn't get into too much with the crescendos, decrescendos, things of that nature here. But make sure that you are starting on measure 1 at piano, and that when you come back to that theme in measure 9, that you are clearly at a new dynamic, okay, mezzo forte, all right? So here is, I'm going to pull up my metronome. We're going to start in 17. And we are at 63. And make sure you're counting yourself off before you start, at least a measure. I'm going to play this at 60, just a shade under the 63. So here's measure 17. And again, this is with the metronome. So here we go. And then on we go to 30. So let's stop there and talk about a couple of things. I had a finger scramble in there somewhere. Let's talk about our subdivisions at measure 17. So we have double dotted eighth notes that are going to be the notes that follow are not 16th notes, the 32nd notes. So I would still, if it's me, I would still be subdividing eighth notes here, and then putting the 32nd notes after the fourth eighth note like this. Again. Now, if that doesn't trip your trigger and you want to do something different, you can just think of those 30-second notes as think of them as being like grace notes. And I think you might get away with but I would encourage you to subdivide. I don't know about subdividing 30-second notes. You could. You could be thinking that in your head. So again, play as long as the rhythm's right. That's okay. And talking about it's being the rhythm is another thought here. Because it's adagio non troppo at quarter equals 54 to 63, I encourage everybody to practice this and learn this, thinking of quarter notes as the downbeat while subdividing eighth notes in their head. One from first measure. 1, 3, 1. Okay. I know some people are teaching their students to do this, to be thinking of it as eighth note getting one beat. 1, 5, 1, 2, or that should be 3. And that's fine. In my experience, students that learn something like this in 6 will be all fine, and then all of a sudden they'll forget, wait, which is the eighth, what's getting one beat, eighth note or quarter note, and all of a sudden something will be half as slow or twice as fast. In my experience, learning this in 3 makes what I just said very not likely to happen. Whatever you decide to do, and there's no wrong answer to that, right? Whether I'm playing in the second measure, the right rhythm is the right rhythm. Whether I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 1, or I'm thinking 1, 3, 5, 1, it's all the same rhythm. So whatever you want to do. If your director is insisting you learn it in 6, good luck to you. Make that happen. You can make it happen. Again, my comfort zone is not with that because of the number of errors I have witnessed while judging, the number of mistakes I've made myself when I am subdividing something like that. So just be wary. Okay, so we're talking about subdivisions in 17, and then again, subdivisions in measure 19. That's a D sharp. We should be subdividing eighth notes there, right? With our handy dandy metronome. I would just encourage you to just practice the rhythm. Don't worry about the 30-second notes. Break these things down into small segments, okay? If we have a problem, if this is the music that we're playing and we have the problem here in the music, don't go back to here to fix what's here. Go here. Fix this spot, okay? Fix that spot. Then add on. So again, subdividing eighth notes in measure 19 on the D sharp. Again. Even there, I'm practicing the crescendo as written now. Again. Okay, late attack on the D sharp, not crazy about that. So now we back it up. Let's back up to the 3/8 notes prior to that. So we're talking about the pickup notes in measure, the pickup notes to measure 19, the A, F sharp, E. Why not play the C sharp that's on beat 3 as part of this exercise? The answer is because that C sharp belongs to what was, okay? The A is what is or what we're going to. So don't start on the C sharp. So it's going to be te forte 1, te forte 1. Again. And then as written completely. Okay. Next, you work on the 30-second notes. Okay. E, D sharp, C sharp, D sharp. D sharp, same as E flat. So we're going to play E, D sharp, C sharp on the left, D sharp, and then E. It would be wise for you to be practicing probably and thinking about the crescendo even there, okay? Sometimes I'm going a little quicker here, not because I think that's how you should be diving into this, but in the interest of time, these are all going to be 30-minute videos if I play it in real time. A couple of other thoughts here. 25, downbeat of 26, same thing. We're going to subdivide B to D to F sharp. And then as written, downbeat of 26. As written. Okay? The trills. In terms of, to make these trills musical, let's avoid something I call the buzzsaw trill. It sounds like, I mean, that's just wild. We don't need to do that. To make it musical, why don't you start with it slowly? Okay? I think that sounds better than... Right? I think you'd agree with me on that. And then in measure 29, we're going to institute a little retard here. That's a big time phrase marking. Mark that breath mark. Even think of maybe railroad tracks, because we have a whole new section here at measure 30. So this is measure 29 alone. No, I'm not going to use a metronome because I'm slowing down here a little bit. I would put a slight retard here in beat 3 of measure 29. So I'm starting that downbeat on 29 with F sharp on the middle. And then when I go to the E sharp, the grace note, and then I go to the fork fingering here. There's no reason. We want to avoid this flippage thing. So I'll play up a little bit. You can see. With a decrescendo. And you could do more crescendo than what I did there. Okay, we're approaching 13 minutes here. I don't want to go on any further on this one. The part 7 is going to be coming soon, so stay tuned. Keep practicing, and remember, practice smart. Good luck.